Chapter 19. The ringing of his phone woke Tucker on Christmas morning. Was it his father? Whitley? She'd promised to call when his father got released. His hand grabbed the phone and he hit the answer call button without looking at the caller ID. Hello? Tucker? It's Coach. You ready to suit up today? Suit up? But I thought I was suspended. You were, but your teammates called the league last night and said they weren't playing without you. Then the league received a second call informing them of Mr. Renfro's decision to pull his donation to the community center. In light of those two things, they have lifted your suspension. His teammates refused to play without him? Tucker could barely believe it. Here he thought he wasn't fitting in on this team, yet they had shown up to help out last night and then stood up to the league for him. He couldn't have asked for better team members. Thanks, Coach. I'll be there. Tucker couldn't help smiling as he hung up the phone and headed into the shower. This Christmas was already shaping up to be his best since his mother passed away, and getting to play was icing on the cake. 2 hours later, he pulled into the stadium parking lot. He told Shelby and Benji's mother where to go, but he hoped he would get to see them before the game started. Tucker saw his favorite guard, Dennis, on duty, and he made his way over to him. Merry Christmas, Dennis. How's the family? A little irritated that I'm here on Christmas Day, Dennis said, but they're good. Tucker had never considered all the people who also had to give up Christmas with their families to be here. I'm sorry you have to be away from your family on Christmas. I'll tell you what, next year I'll save Christmas Day tickets for you. That way your family can watch from the luxury box. They still won't get to spend the day with you directly, but at least you'll be in the same place. Dennis's eyes widened. You would do that? Of course I would. I'd give you some for today, but I already gave them out. Which reminds me of why I came over here. If a boy in a wheelchair and a beautiful blonde come through here with my luxury box tickets, will you tell them I'll come see them before the game starts if I can? You bet, Mr. Jackson. I'll keep my eyes open for them. Thanks, Dennis. Again, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Jackson, and good luck today. Tucker flashed another warm smile before he continued into the dressing room. Somehow, he didn't think they would need good luck today. Everything about it just felt right. Oh my goodness, Kenzie said as she entered the luxury box behind Shelby. This is amazing. This is insane, Shelby said as she took in the luxurious gold and blue interior. Who needs this much? Kenzie shook her head and rolled her eyes. Nobody needs it. That's why it's called a luxury. But isn't it fantastic? She held her arms wide and fell onto a plush leather couch. Shelby didn't know if fantastic was the word she would use. She felt like an imposter in the exorbitant room. And she couldn't help thinking about all the kids she could help if she had this kind of money. I know what you're thinking, Shelby, but can't you just relax for one day? Can't you just take a step back and enjoy this for what it is? A treat? An inside look into how the other half lives? You're right, Shelby said with a sigh. It's Christmas, and I should enjoy this. I'll probably never do this again. Kenzie snorted and sat up. Who are you kidding? I saw the way Tucker was looking at you last night. I have a feeling you'll be attending a lot of these in the future. Heat flamed up Shelby's face. Kenzie didn't even know about the kiss. Shelby normally told her everything, but she hadn't told her about the kiss with Tucker. It had just been too mind-blowing. Whoa, look at this place! Benji's voice gave Shelby a reprieve from answering Kenzie, one she was very grateful for. Hey, Benji. Pretty cool, right? Shelby had been thrilled when Tucker had told her he had given a ticket to Benji and his mother, but seeing the odd expression on the kid's face was even more heartwarming. Maybe, if she did continue dating Tucker, they could bring a different kid each week. That might be the only way she wouldn't feel so bad about watching the game from this box. Oh, good. You all made it. Shelby turned at the sound of Tucker's voice. She'd never seen him up close in his football gear, and it took her breath away. He'd always been just Tucker to her, but in his tight pants and jersey, he looked like the football player that he was. Thank you for inviting us. Thank you for coming." Tucker didn't cross the room and take her in his arms as she'd hoped he would, but his gaze said it all. It was as if time slowed around them, and every sound was muted. She could read the desire in his gaze, and the heat returned when she realized everyone else probably could too. "Mr. Tucker, this is so cool." Once again, Benji came to her aid, even though he had no idea he was doing it. "I'm glad you're enjoying it," Tucker said with a chuckle. "I have to get down to the field for the warm-up, but I wanted to say hi before I did." His eyes shifted back to Shelby. "Will you wait for me after?" "Of course." There was no way Shelby would leave without seeing him. It was Christmas Day, and though she didn't get to spend the day close to him, she had hopes they would spend at least a little of the evening together. She watched him wave and exit the room before going to sit on the couch next to Kenzie. "See? I told you," Kenzie whispered as Shelby sat down. "Yes, you're very smart. Now hush so I can focus on the game." Shelby knew nothing about the game of football, but it gave her a good excuse to avoid Kenzie's prying gaze. If she continued dating Tucker, though, she'd have to get him to teach her the rules. As she watched him run out on the field, she realized she was practically his date. Her, Shelby Doll, the woman who had always blended into the background, was here as Tucker Jackson's guest. And hopefully, they'd be going on their first official date soon. "What are you smirking about?" Kenzie asked, dispelling Shelby's daydream. "Nothing, just enjoying the game." And she did enjoy it, at least as much as she understood it. She might not have known what each play was, or exactly how the points were scored, but she knew to cheer every time the Tornadoes put points on the board. When the final whistle blew, they had secured a win by a mere 3 points. But a win was a win, right?